Hey guys, Blacksmith here, and today I thought I'd give you a little tutorial on color correction with Magic Bullet Lux. If you don't know what Magic Bullet Lux is, it's a plugin for After Effects and for other video editing softwares. I don't think you can get it for Vegas, but oh no, I think you can. I think you can actually. Um, but yeah, it's basically for color correction, and there'll be a link in the description to where you can download a trial version, and then you can buy it or some other method. Obviously, I'm not promoting anything illegal here. You should definitely buy it. Anyway, effect. I've got it here, but just in case, it's in Magic Bullet Lux. Edit. So it's a whole new different sort of software in its own. It's not a little thing in After Effects. You have to go into your control panel and make sure your clip is selected and then click edit. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go on to post, and let me just say a disclaimer: this is not a copy of Acres HD's video, because I saw Acres HD how to do a moody Black Ops color correction, and then I saw about 5 other related videos which were just exactly the same tutorial but different wording. So just because I'm adding curves first does not mean that this is Acres video but with my voice. Let me just show you how I do my color correction. Wow, I sound like a dick then. I'm not calling out Acres, he's a pretty sweet guy. Let's see, so we just wanted to add a bit of contrast. I'm not going to add any red, blue or green yet, because I want to do some other things first. Make sure you're still in the post tab, and okay, Acres would next add lift gamma gain, but I'm going to add telecine net. Telecine net. I don't even know how you say it. I'm not illiterate, but I don't know how you say that. Okay, so obviously this doesn't look too good at the moment. It's just made it a little bit darker. But you can't just expect to add a tool on and then it just does all the work for you, because you've got to fiddle around with it and make it look your own. Ignore these scope things because they're just retarded. Off. Right. So click on your whatever. I just call it T-net. And bring up your exposure a bit, because nobody likes a dark montage. They're always really boring and have emo music on. And I'm going to take up the size to 100%, and you can fiddle with the strength a bit, but I'm just going to leave that at 75. Maybe take up the exposure a little bit more, and that's pretty much got rid of all our contrast from the curves. But not to worry, we're going to add some other shizzle to make it look cool. We're going to add an edge blur. I like my edges blurred. Not too much though, we want to be able to see the kill feed, obviously. I'm not going to mess around with any of these because the edge blur is pretty sound on this. You could also add a diffusion or a light flex. I like to add a bit of diffusion, or indeed an LS white 0. Okay, that looks retarded, but we're gonna make it look better. Take down the exposure a bit. Okay, in fact, screw diffusion because it's screwing me up the bum today. And we're gonna make this bluey. We don't want to make it too deep because that makes it dark and emo again, and we don't want to make it red because this is not a red map, and we don't want to make it whatever colour that is. We want to make it a softish sort of grey blue, because that's sort of the colour scheme for Vacant. It's sort of a softy grey blue colour. And then we're gonna whap into our curves again, and now we're gonna mess around with these. I hate green. I'm gonna ignore that for the moment. Gonna take down the blues, in fact, in the higher end of the scale, and then take up the blues in the lower end of the scale. And we're going to go to red next, and we're gonna bring up the reds a tiny little bit on each sort of point, which gives it sort of like a pinky colour. Not gay, but you know, I think it looks pretty cool. I hate green montages, but I need to bring up the green a little bit to cancel out the blue. Okay, just gonna be very, very careful with this. So that sort of got away with the pink a bit. And then what we could add as well is a three-way color correction. Whether that's gone, it's in the subject. Where's three-way? Is that? Yeah. Okay. So it's in subject, and I'm gonna bring this to a whitey sort of colour. You can mess around with the slider bar, but we don't want to do that too much. That's just going to make those windows pop a bit. Obviously, you're going to have to change these settings around. If there's if you're in a really bright area of the map, you're not going to want to bring these up too much, because the sky's just going to completely dominate it, and I'll show you that afterwards. But I think that looks pretty nice. That color correction, it's simple, it's not too crazy, even though I like my crazy color corrections. I'm gonna make this one bluish, but not too blue. I'm gonna bring this one towards the red, making a nice little color correction. So I'll just show you off, on, off, on. It looks much better. The light pops a bit, as you can see in the windows here, and you can still see everything. It's not like too dark, and it's not too bright. But obviously this is going to change for the clips, and you're going to have to adjust as needed. So I'm just going to get this triple on countdown, and I'm going to plop that on right there, and then we're going to copy this look. I'm going to save this first though, this tut, because After Effects usually crashes on me at some point now. Save, so I'm just going to copy this, and I'm going to delete that, paste it on, and obviously this doesn't look as good as this one. So we're gonna have to mess around. It looks a bit too bright to me. You can't really see the kill feed. So if we go into our thing again, we can go to our T-net and we can take down the exposure compensation a bit, and that's made it look better already. And then we can change our gradient. We can bring this up a little bit and make it, maybe because this map's a bit sort of greeny, we can make it greeny. Or we can make it a more sort of reddish sort of colour. It looks a bit pink to me, so I'm going to make it a bit green, even though I hate green. And three-way colour corrector, we're going to bring this more to the blue spectrum, and that looks pretty sweet. Something not quite right though in the kill feed again. I think it's this. Maybe this. Yeah, that's done it. Okay, so then just click OK, and I've got two very nice color corrections. And obviously you just have to adjust it to different clips. So I'm just going to show you that. Okay, there's one there, and there's one there, and they both look very nice without making too much of a change. Obviously you don't want it to be too subtle, otherwise people are just gonna be like, why is there no color correction? It looks shit. Obviously don't want to make it too wacky, otherwise people are gonna comment saying over edited, and it's a pretty tight line between over editing and under editing, and it's very hard to get in that small little niche. Although there'll always be a minority of people who say it is over edited or under edited, just because people have different opinions. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, just mess about with color correction, and I hope you can show me some of your color corrections in a video response or whatever. But yeah, see you next time.